And welcome to the Smart Science Lab about how to measure for the plant transpiration lab. Now, what is plant transpiration? Well, you'll see a brief description of this in both the Engage page that you've already read and here in the lab description on the Explore page. Plants are losing water by evaporation through holes in their leaves, pores called stomata, and we're going to look at the effect of different conditions on how that evaporation takes place. So once you've read over the lab description, you've looked at the guideline that shows you how to measure. We're going to be clicking on the level of the blue water in the capillary on the right. Now let's go ahead and do the lab itself. So consider this question: how do different conditions affect the rate of plant transpiration, or in other words, the evaporation of water through those leaves? We have bag conditions, we have a heat lamp condition, we have a fan that we put on the leaves, and then we have just a regular room condition. Pick which one you think is the highest. That's going to be your hypothesis, or write a hypothesis that you'd like to test. And then I'm going to go ahead and pick an experiment and run it to try to get some evidence. Now notice that we have 8 videos here. We have a choice of either 8 leaves or 4 leaves with each of the 4 conditions. I'll just pick the first one. You notice here's our setup. There's the leaves, the 8 of them. They've been stuck into this tube. Blue water is coming up the tube, going down around, and then up into a skinny capillary. This allows us to really be able to measure as the water evaporates through the leaves. It sucks water out of this glass tube down through the capillary. So just watch the video when I press play. Notice the blue water on the right moving as the evaporation is taking place. It's suctioning up that blue liquid. Now we have to measure the rate of the blue liquid getting used up. So the instructions are right here. Click on the blue water level in the glass tube opposite from the plant. So let's do that. Each time I click, some time will go by, about 15 seconds in this case, and I'm measuring how far that water moves in centimeters. And it's just fine to measure height of water because all the different leaf setups have the same capillary tube. So whether or not we measure height or volume, they mean the same thing here. And you're going to notice these measurements coming up both on the graph and the data table. Now, if you don't like your measurements, you can always reset, start doing it again. If you do like your measurements, after you've completed enough of them, go ahead and press save. It's going to put that up in your list right here as one of your saved graphs. And then the all button would let you superimpose multiple graphs once you've measured them. Go ahead and try to figure out how different conditions affect the evaporation of water through plant leaves, known as plant transpiration, in this Smart Science Lab.